If you're just getting started, you don't need to invest in expensive gear or accessories to make awesome videos. I'm going to show you how to film like a pro with just your phone only. No need to take notes, I've compiled this step-by-step process into a checklist that you can download for free. Link in the description below. The first step is preparation. Preparation will help you with your entire filming process. To minimize mistakes, have your main points written in bullet points. Stay focused on these main points and don't add any fillers. You sound way more professional by having a script than just winging it. You can print out the script before filming, or you can display that script next to you using a laptop or tablet. Next, choose between the front and the rear camera. The front camera will allow you to see yourself while filming, but at a reduced video quality. Try both cameras and see which one would suit your situation better. Personally, I prefer to use the front camera so that I can see myself because the increase of quality just doesn't justify the headache for me. I'll be able to check my shots constantly, and this way I can just press the buttons from the front as well, and this makes it so much easier for me to continue my filming process. You need to clean your camera lens. Remove smudges and dust, preferably using a microfiber cloth to avoid any damages or scratches. You'll be surprised by the increase of quality just by doing this. Now to frame your shot. Framing a shot means determining what will be included into the scene. Make sure that your main subject is not being cut off while recording. Clear the background of any unflattering objects and avoid pointing the camera towards the sun. This causes too much glare and will make your image appear super dark. Now it's time to mount your smartphone. Free your hands and add more stabilization by placing your smartphone onto a tripod. Oh wait, since this is a budget-friendly video, you probably don't have a tripod. Let's try the budget option. Try stacking books and boxes on top of each other on a table, and then you can put your smartphone on it. This way, you have a makeshift tripod and an increased height that will be more suitable for your video recording. You can also lean your smartphone onto some of those books or boxes for extra support, because you don't want your phone to topple over. Now, let's set up the lighting. Lighting can dramatically increase the image quality of your videos, so consider buying lights first before getting a new camera. Now, the budget option here is to use a window. The sunlight is free, but your recording time might be limited. So make sure you plan ahead so that it doesn't get dark while you're filming. Next, focus on the main subject. Make sure it's well lit first. Everything else is secondary. You can always add more lights later on when you have the budget and once you've learned how to use additional lightings into your scene. Switching off your ceiling lights will probably be a good idea because this way you have more control of your artificial lighting and you can then position your lights accordingly and get that effect that you want. Now it's time to move on and set up your microphone. They say that 50% of video is audio. Your video will lose value if your viewers can't hear what you're saying. Now, when on a budget, you can use your default headphones that come out of the box when you purchase your smartphone. These headphones are way better than the default microphone that is built into your device. The general rule here is simple. The closer the microphone is to the source, the more crisper the audio quality will be. So putting that microphone near your mouth will then increase the quality of your audio. The next tip I have is to switch off and distance yourself from any noise producing sources, such as your ceiling fan or your AC unit. You should also plan ahead and make sure that you are doing your sound recording during the good times of the day. So make sure that you're not doing it when you have kids and your animals running around in the background. Animals? What? Oh, by the way, if you love these budget-friendly options that I'm sneaking into the video, please give me a thumbs up because it will help my channel out and it's, hey, super easy to do. Oh, and let me know in the comment section below which of these budget-friendly options that surprise you and you're going to try it out. Moving on, there's some smartphone settings that you should be checking. Check your battery and make sure that you charge accordingly before you start filming. Have your power banks, your chargers all on standby during filming to avoid any headaches. Next, check your storage. Make sure you have enough space and you should back up all your files and delete unnecessary files before you start filming. You can enable airplane mode or do not disturb mode depending on your phone model, and this way it will stop you from getting any calls, messages, or notification from apps. You will have a much more peaceful and smoother recording session without any of these distractions. Next, check your camera settings. When I mention camera settings, this is the settings that will ensure that your video recording is done correctly. First, check your video resolution. This determines the video quality and how sharp the image is. The higher the quality, the bigger the video files will be. Typically, you want to film in HD, which is 1920 x 1080, or in 4K. Check your frame rates, also known as FPS. This determines how smooth motion will be in your videos. Typically, the higher the value is, the smoother things will be. In most scenarios, 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second will be more than enough for you to upload to YouTube. If your phone supports autofocus, you can also enable this so that the subject remains in constant focus so that it doesn't get blurred, but turn it off if it starts to change too often. Sometimes these settings will just decide for itself and it's not that smart. You can turn on 3x3 grid lines for your camera and use them to frame better shots. For example, you can use the rule of thirds, or you can make things more symmetry, and these grid lines will help you achieve that. Some phones will allow you to reconfigure your volume buttons, and you can use those buttons to start and stop recording. Now, this is useful if you're using the rear camera, because this means that you don't have to take the extra step and move all the way towards the back of the smartphone just to hit record. Okay, with all that setup out of the way, it's finally time to start filming, and here are some tips for you to start recording. Make sure that you always do a test recording. This way you can review that test footage and see whether or not your lighting is okay, your sound is okay, your framing, and all your video settings are all okay. If not, you might find that you spend hours on your filming and recording only to find that you have to reshoot everything all over again. Now, when you're using the front camera, always look at the camera lens, not the screen. I've made this mistake so many times, and it's so obvious that you're not paying attention to your actual viewer and it feels like you're talking to some other object somewhere else. You don't always have to start or stop recording completely. You can always hit the pause button, read your script, have a glance at it, and then come back and resume the recording. It will all be in one video file once you export it out. You should wait 3 seconds when recording starts and wait another 3 seconds before stopping recording to avoid abrupt cuts. Now, the reason for this is that you may need to get into position after pressing record button, so this ensures that you don't miss out on any important bits. By the way, as a reminder, I mentioned this before, all these steps are compiled into an easy to read PDF. Link for it in the description below, make sure you get that. Check out this playlist right here, you want to learn more about video creation, and this one right here, you want to learn more about lighting.